SEOscience.com.
Welcome to another episode of SEO Science. I'm Richie Billing and delighted to be joined by Joe Greenslade. Joe, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, must be back. Enjoyed the first one, so looking forward to doing this one now.
Yeah, nice sunny day there down in Cardiff as well.
Yeah, I know, it's in my eyes a bit. So.
Absolutely lashing down here in Liverpool. So if you listen to the first episode, thanks very much. We just had a little chat about the challenges and opportunities that present themselves in this ever-changing industry. And one of the things we wanted to do as part of the series is to dive into subjects in a bit of depth, but providing you with really practical tips and advice. And one of the hot topics in the world of SEO, definitely one of the most lucrative sides and more expensive sides of SEO as well, is backlinks. And Joe, you've developed and grown a really successful backlink agency, haven't you, over the years? And
yeah, mate,
this is very much your field.
Yeah, no, it's there's three pillars to SEO. Like you've got your technical SEO, the content, the on-page SEO, and then the off-page, which is link building. And then it's the biggest kind of signal, algorithmic signal for Google is backlinks. That's never changed, but what has changed is the way you procure them, the way you go about building them, the way you get them.
Yeah, definitely. Always something changing with backlinks as well, which is annoying. But I didn't. It was my weakest part of my SEO game, and I decided I needed to go out and learn as much as I can about it. And funnily enough, given all these recent Google updates, I ended up on Reddit, and that's where I found a lot of the answers. And the answers have been provided by yourself in these really detailed posts in the this SEO subreddit. And a lot of the stuff I learned about backlinks was all from you. So it's going to be really interesting diving into different elements of the process, really, because first of all, in this episode, we're going to take a look at what backlinks are, why they're important, and different types of backlinks, because some have more power than others, don't they? And it obviously depends where you get the links from.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to look at how to find and source backlinks, like what kind of websites are the ones to target, how to speak to webmasters, and budgets and stuff like that. And then we're also going to look at writing guest posts and identifying link insert opportunities and what is better, what's more efficient, and what's going to get you the best results. So episode 1 in this little mini series, we're going to dive into the basics, really. So Joe, backlink expert, what is a backlink?
Yeah, so essentially any kind of backlink is a link back to your website from another website. Just any kind of example, you guest post, forum link, anything like that is counted as a backlink. But like you said, there's been a huge change over the last few years in how you go about acquiring them and building them. Like any website will naturally accrue backlinks, but they're not necessarily links that will help you rank higher on Google. And that's kind of where a lot of misinformation lays. And you see it a lot. Like, obviously, SEO is one of those kind of industries where there's no barrier for entry. Anyone can kind of posit themselves as a specialist or someone who knows stuff about SEO, or they don't really. So there's a lot of damaging information out there, and information that can cost people a lot of money with little return if they're not kind of careful and they don't kind of do their research about links and how to build the right links, how many links to build and where to build them. I guess, yeah, just like I was saying, like you used to be able to build loads of forum links. Like you could just go onto Reddit, Facebook, Quora, all those kind of websites, and in the comments, blah, 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 check out my website. And it would kind of count and be a kind of powerful link, but Google got wind of it. It was kind of completely being abused. And in around 2015, 2013, it stopped being a tactic that really moved the needle. However, you still see this everywhere. You still see a lot of agencies, even some of the bigger agencies out there, kind of offering kind of forum posts, forum mentions, and all this kind of stuff. And it can have its place in certain niche kind of usages, But the reality is you want to kind of stay away from that. So at the moment, this moment in time, good link or a kind of backlink is a link that sits in relevant content pertaining to you, your industry, your web type on a website that can also be relating to you, whether that's within a category or within the whole website. But the website itself has to kind of be, which is like, going into the metric side of things, but it has to kind of be, this is where it gets like quite murky, but the website has to be a good site, and how you assess a site to be good can be different depending on the link you're using. Like you were saying earlier, link insert or guest post, like you're kind of looking for different things for each one. But on the base of it, you want it to have decent traffic from the location that you want to rank, but that doesn't always matter, but it kind of helps. And you also want to look at what they rank for, right? Because it's very easy to kind of manipulate this, and you can inflate a website traffic quite easily and make it appear as though the site is super popular in certain locations, but you can kind of have a lot of bot traffic and manipulated traffic. So it's important to kind of have a quick look at what the website's ranking for. But yeah, man, like it's really difficult to kind of
it's a nail
talk about what is a backlink without and to try not to go deep down into each of the kind of subjects that surround it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he did a good job there. It gave us a little teaser of some of the things we're going to cover in more detail as well. But I think one of the main things that backlinks help with is helping search engines understand what your website is about, and what you were saying there about relevance. I think that's becoming really, really important, especially if you're working in a niche. So we do a lot of legal stuff. So getting relevant links there is really difficult, but it's when you do get them, the worth loads more because, like you say, the relevancy of them all. And like you say, we said before, but this is how Google really gains an idea and gains trust in your site, isn't it? So what are the other reasons, like why backlinks are important? What role do they play?
Well, essentially, when I kind of go through this with my clients, I usually kind of say that links work in two ways. There are two main ways that kind of links work. The first one, which you just touched upon, is that each link you create on a relevant, let's just say it, pretend that they're good websites, all good websites. Each link you create sends a trust signal to Google that basically says, hey, look, people are talking about this website within this medium, within this industry. They're referencing this website as a useful tool, a useful service, or a useful product. So in Google's mind, it's kind of like, okay, maybe we should show the link to website to more people searching relevant terms. So it's going to help that website rank higher across the board for relevant terms. The other side of it is in directly increasing your ranking for a specific keyword. So, I don't know, say you're a water bottle company and you want to rank higher for water bottle in the UK or the USA. You might use the anchor text as water bottle, or a neutral anchor text with water bottle near that neutral anchor text. And by force of association, Google will see people sort of saying, hey, they're linking to this website using the term water bottle. Maybe we should show it to more people searching for water bottle. So those are, on the base of it, the two kind of main ways that links work on a wholesale basis, increasing the kind of power of a website, increasing it across the board, but also directly increasing it for those hard to hit keywords.
Yeah. No, that's really good. It's interesting what you say about getting the links from the area that you're trying to rank for, the country. Like wherever we UK based. I mean, my personal website, I do a lot of my SEO experiments on, is more geared towards the US. And I was doing a little experiment where I had this page that was getting quite a lot of traffic, but I thought that the audience was broader than what it was currently targeting. So at the minute, it was just going for US. But the tool I thought would have been useful to people trying to learn English in India. So what I did is, just as a little experiment, was just got a couple of backlinks from .in domains or websites that had a lot of traffic from India. And all of a sudden, I started getting loads of traffic from India.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting. Unfortunately, them links went away.
Yeah,
As
can
they
happen.
want to do, and they lost all the traffic from India. So it's like you're hooking on to something and drawing in that audience. It's interesting how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. And for some niches, kind of as long as the language of the website and it has a decent integration with traffic, you can kind of get away from it. Like you can get away with it. Like you can kind of, I don't know, say you have a business in the UK, you can get some US links with US traffic. Say you have a business in the US, UK links with UK traffic, and you can still kind of get that power from it. Especially if there's a secondary source of traffic, which there usually is, with some, high power Western websites using the same language is going to happen. It's going to be crossover, Canada, America, Australia, UK.
Yeah.
So but when you go down to like kind of real locality, where you're not trying to rank across the whole country, and you're getting into the real locality, then yes, you do want to kind of drum down, like a plumber in the USA, for example, in a certain state, trying to get links from websites pertaining to that state or the area are going to be more powerful than a huge national publication with hundreds of thousands of traffic. It Google is at the point where it can recognize that, oh, hang on, having local kind of websites and semi-local websites referring to this plumber is going to be more powerful than this huge national website, which is interesting because it goes kind of against the grain of hey, let's have a look at the traffic of this site. Let's assess this website. Oh, that's huge. Oh, this one
Yeah.
isn't so much. But there's a huge difference between the two. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like one of those like it's one of the rules you break once you learn the rules. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. Advanced tips there, chaps.
Yeah.
So one important thing about backlinks, there's two types, isn't there? There's do follow links and there's no follow links.
Yeah.
Some benefits attached to the do follow links more than the no follow links. But do you want to give us a bit of an overview of what both mean and what they do?
Yeah, literally like do follow is basically saying to Google, follow this link. It's a genuine link. The webmaster has genuinely put this link into the content because it believes that it leads to a product or service that the readers of the article will find useful. A no follow link is essentially Google's guidelines ask that webmasters, if they are doing sponsored content or if someone's paying them for content, that the link should be no follow, which essentially means that it's not going to ping off the right kind of signal for Google because it's a no follow link. With that said, no follow links do have some value. If you're undergoing a huge link building campaign, you're doing lots of links in each month, month in, month out, adding some no follows to the mix will help the profile look a bit more neutral. And to be fair, I had one client last year and they were just doing no follow links for a certain reason, but they were working. They weren't working as much as do follow, of course, but they were working. In my head, and people will disagree with this, but from what I've seen, if a do follow link has 100% efficacy, right? A no follow in my head has 25 to 30%. So they do exist, they do get picked up, they're there, there's a reason they're there, but they don't have the same pull and power as a do follow. So if you ever go into a kind of negotiation with a webmaster, and they say, which one do you want? Or do you want do follow or no follow? Or if they say, hey, we only do no follow, but it's going to cost a crazy amount of money, that's kind of a signal to kind of be like, it's probably not worth me paying this much money if it's going to be a no follow link. Or if they're asking you which one, oh yeah, it's a do follow. And when you go into the negotiation stage, it's like, hey, how much shall I pay for this link? I know we'll talk about this, another time, but how much shall I pay for this link? And also, is it do follow or no follow? So yeah, you want do follow links, but if you have a huge portfolio of links and you're building a huge profile of links, you also want to add in some no follows as well.
So we spoke a bit before about different types of backlinks or the ways, different methods of getting the links that you want. So forum posts, ad the day did very well for a little while. And every now and then these things pop up, these little trends. So I think the two main ones that I know of anyway that I've seen to have stuck around and that get the best results for your investments are guest posts and then link inserts, but they're not as ideal, are they? From what I understand.
No, there's a huge thing around link inserts. So guest posts on the face of it are better because you can curate the content to make the link work. You can force the content to support the link in the best way possible by using the keywords you're trying to rank for and other keywords you're trying to rank for around the anchor text. So Google will see the anchor text. They'll also pick up keywords around the anchor text. So you can be really clever with it and get the best bang for your buck by putting the content together for yourself. You can also, of course, put the content together for the webmaster in a way that they'd appreciate, which kind of makes your job a bit easier than kind of saying, hey, I want to put my link in this post. So on the front of it, guest posts are usually better than link inserts. They are also better because a new post, once you posted the post and it's up and you speak to the webmaster and you say, hey, mark this for indexation in Search Console, Google will index it and it'll be seen. If you insert a link into a piece of content that's like 10 years old and it's not indexed, Google ain't going to see it. And this brings us on to why link inserts can be dangerous. So many of the larger SEO agencies in the UK, or maybe like link building agencies, they'll do link inserts and they'll call them niche edits. But the majority of the posts they put the edits into, the links into, aren't indexed and they're just not going to do anything. That's why there are levels to a link insert. So you could say like the first level, you're just throwing the link into any content. Okay, it might be a little bit relevant, it might not, but it ain't doing anything. It's not indexed. It's rubbish. The second level, the SEO agency or yourself would check if the content is indexed. If it's on Google and it's indexed and you put the link in, okay, that's a bit better than I suppose the level one we were just talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then you come to kind of 3/4, where okay, the relevancy is there, it's looking really good. And not only is it indexed, but it's actually ranking for keywords on Google. So that essentially is saying Google trusts this content enough to rank it and to show it to people. Of course, you have different levels of this. It could be ranked like 90th for something, but it's still ranked, it's still indexed. So that is way more useful and much more powerful than a link that is going into content that isn't even indexed. So before you even look at the metrics for the website, a link on a website with millions of traffic that's gone into a bit of content that ain't indexed, and then a link going into a website with traffic of 1,000, but it's going into a piece of content that brings in 200 of that content, of that traffic, is going to be way more powerful and way more impactful than a link in an article that ain't indexed on the aforementioned post. So that's the problem with link inserts. It's really easy for agencies and freelance link builders and so on and so forth to kind of pull the wool over your eyes a bit and kind of, hey, this is on a great website. This is on a great website. Look at the traffic. But it's like, and to be fair, the majority of links these agencies get, the websites will have rubbish traffic. They might have traffic in the hundreds or the tens, and the post they've stuck the link into won't even rank on Google. Or won't even be indexed. So there are a very many kind of, okay, guest post or link insert, which one? And then, but when you get into the arena of link inserts, there's a bit of a mire there. So getting, and the best link inserts you can get, so to the top level link inserts, say you want to rank for, I don't know, coffee machine cleaner, right? If you can get a link with the anchor coffee machine cleaner, or a generic anchor like here or over here or wherever, or check this out, into an article that ranks for coffee machine cleaner, that is the best link insert you're going to get. Because that content already ranks for what you're trying to rank for. So basically you're saying to Google's like, this content is good enough to rank it for coffee machine cleaner. But then you're linking to your website saying coffee machine cleaner in that article. So it just, power for that is amazing. But obviously they're the hardest to get, because if you think about it, if you own a website with an article that's ranking for something like that, and someone comes up to you and they're like, hey man, can you get me a link here for this, what you're already ranking for? It's like, so it's going to cost you a bit of cash, but it's doable. They're the most powerful link inserts that you can get. But on the face of it, I usually prefer a guest post. And that is not to say as well that link inserts into posts that have indexed are bad. Like they still help.
Yeah.
Google knows they're there and it recognizes the link and it passes on value. But there are kind of levels to it. And the higher levels, you're looking at a hell of a lot of money to get a kind of link for something that's already ranking for what you want to rank for. But there's a lot of work that goes into that and a lot of research and, it goes back and forth a lot. But yeah, just to cut that off, yeah, don't just buy link inserts blindly without kind of speaking to the agency or speaking to the provider and kind of saying, okay, you're going to give me some link inserts. That's awesome. But let's dial it back a little bit. Let's not just look at the traffic or how good the website is. Let's look at the post you're putting the link in and how you kind of, is it ranking for anything? But it's quite an important question to ask a provider.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Really good. On
Cool.
link inserts, there's a lot more that goes into them. They seem like quick wins because you don't have to write a guest post, but like you say, there's a lot of analysis that goes in. Something else I wanted to talk to you about. On this particular subject, we've spoken a bit about it, but in case anyone's completely new to backlinking, it'll be helpful to provide a bit of an explanation on it. So the anchor texts that you use, there are all different strategies depending on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to promote a brand, you might use the brand name. Some people link to homepages of websites or specific pages. I mean, could you give us a bit of an overview of anchor texts and how to approach them when you're guest posting and inserting links?
Sure. Sometimes the choice is taken out of your hands by the website. A lot of the times they'll kind of say, hey, we don't allow direct match. We only allow generic. A generic anchor is kind of like, here, check this out. This website over here, something generic like that. You can get around that by putting the anchor text you want to rank for near that generic term.
Yeah.
You can also have a URL link, which is literally like you can put in www.co.uk.com, whatever. They're hard as well because most people don't like naked URLs. So they're pretty hard to do, but it's doable. You can find them. They're out there. Then you have the direct keyword, which you literally use the keyword you want to rank for as the anchor itself. That's kind of the most popular. And like you just said, branded as well. But again, a lot of people use a branded term near a term they want to rank for, the keyword they want to rank for. It also, with branded terms, it becomes even more important that the content is very narrowly related to what your industry is. Whereas if you just use a keyword, again, using water bottle, you can fit that into so many different like use cases and terminologies. But if you're using the brand of the water bottle, the article's pretty much got to be about the water bottle, or like pertaining to water bottle usage, right?
Yeah.
There is a kind of different use case for each one. And it does kind of depend what you want to do. But if you put the keyword near any anchor, it's going to work. But using the keyword as an anchor itself is usually the most powerful way to go. But you've got to do it in a kind of non-promotional way, in a way that the webmaster, him or herself, has like naturally kind of linked to you as a useful resource if you link into content, like useful content, or a useful product or service. Obviously, product or service is harder to link to. Content is easier to link to. So like where people use a blog post as a sales funnel or a video as a sales funnel or something like that, linking to that is easier because you're kind of saying, hey, this information is useful. Whereas if you're saying this product or service is useful, it's quite hard to kind of get away from this non-promotional kind of writing. So there is a kind of knack to it that makes it work. But on the face of it, those are the different kind of anchors the most businesses will look to place. Most businesses will look to use through both link inserts and content. Obviously, with a link insert, it depends on the website. Some of them will just let you insert the link, but if they're just letting you insert the link of however many words, the content is going to be harder to fit that link into. So usually if you speak to a webmaster about a link insert, you can usually insert like a nice paragraph, which lets you contextualize the link a bit more and add a bit more flavor to the post. And if they're not letting you do that, it's like kind of like, it's a bit of a red flag, really. because
Yeah,
it's better for their site and it's better for your link.
definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, on the face of it, mate, those are the kind of main anchor text kind of terms that you'd look for and you'd use. But depending on the business, the niche, and the industry, kind of dictates what direction you'd go down, with which one you kind of use.
Yeah. Joe, that's fantastic. We got a great overview there of backlinks. We've gone into a good bit of detail there as well, and some very useful insights and techniques as well. But we're going to be talking more about this. In the next episode, we're going to be talking all about finding backlink opportunities. So we've flirted with the topic a bit there today, but the next episode we're going to be taking a deeper dive into it. So, Joe, thank you very much as always.
Cheers, mate. Been a pleasure.
Where's the best place to find out a bit more about you and your agency?
Oh, I'm at sequenceseo.com, just kind of wholesale SEO agency with a bit of flavor to it. Like we do load of different clients, different industry types. So yeah, always there for offer any help if needed.
Nice one. And my name is Richie, and I am from Billion Media Digital Marketing Agency. Links for both will be in the description. Thank you very much for listening.